Welcome to Japan Seikatsu. I'm Ian, and today I want to talk about why the friendships you'll make in Japan will be different. Now, as always, please be sure to click like and subscribe so we can grow the Japan Seikatsu community and help as many people as possible with their Japan journey. Let's get started. So, why are the types of friendships that you'll make in Japan different? Essentially, I think there's two big differences. Number one is there is a massive filtering process going on. Anyone who chooses from overseas to move to Japan is a certain breed of cat. And you'll go from my case, I was the weirdo at university who had pictures of Japanese gardens on my dorm room walls, or I was the one that was seeking out Japanese economy or history or language classes. And then in moving to Japan, all of a sudden I found that there was similar types all around me that I was meeting. In my instance, it was the JET program, but I think this is true for most foreigners that move to Japan. We are the types that chose to leave our home country and live overseas. And so you're basically getting a great filter for the explorer types. And this is equally true for the Japanese that you'll befriend in Japan as well, right? Because the Japanese that you'll befriend often they speak English or they're learning English. They have a curiosity about your culture, your food, your movies, where you come from. They're curious, at least in my experience, about the world outside of Japan, and that's often the reason that a conversation between you will kick off. So from the Japan side as well, you'll find that a lot of the Japanese that you become friends with are also explorer types. We're both explorer types, and you're enjoying this ecosystem that is fertile ground for long-lasting, lifelong friendships, because it's this great filter that is bringing together all these people that have a similar wiring. And the other thing that I found in living in Japan was I was becoming friends with people of all different ages. So my experience in the US was I went to school with people my age. I was playing sports with people my age, and that continued from a young age all the way up through university. I mean, maybe you've befriend somebody that's a year older, a year younger, but basically it's the same age cohort all the way through. Then I moved to Japan. It was on the JET program. I was in this village teaching English, and I was teaching eikaiwa at the community center. And I had students, ranging from people in their teens all the way up into their 70s. And you become friends with a lot of them. One lady owned the local restaurant. She was studying English. I was studying Japanese, and she invited me every Tuesday to her restaurant, and we would speak English and Japanese. She was in her 50s, and we became very close friends. This was 3 years of every Tuesday, and you find that you're very similar, right? I was curious about the world outside of my home country, and she was as well. I also became very good friends with a 70-year-old that had left this small village, had a life in the big city, and then retired and came back, and we became very good friends. And still to this day, when I go back to Shikoku, it's always a great joy to see her. I also found this to be true with the non-Japanese that I was meeting and befriending in Japan, that I was finding individuals that were older than I was, that had spent decades in Japan, and I was so curious about how they had built a life in Japan and a career in Japan, and they had so much experience and so much wisdom. Some of them became great mentors to me. So I had this great blooming of friendships, both Japanese and non-Japanese, of all different age groups that I hadn't really experienced to that degree growing up in the United States. And To this day, and I am certain for the rest of my life, a lot of these friends are friends for life. And so it was a wonderful surprise about the types of friendships that you will make when you move to Japan. I know a lot of you are in the process of preparing to move to Japan. I think this is something to look forward to. But I'm also curious, from our viewers that live in Japan or have lived in Japan, what was your experience with making friends in Japan? Please be sure to share in the comment section. And as always, if you have questions, please ask them in the comment section as well. And again, please be sure to click like and subscribe so we can continue to grow the Japan Seikatsu community. Thank you.